Hi everyone, I'm Officer Asheville with the Central Point Police Department, and this is Traffic Safety First. If you're a resident of the city of Central Point, you will have received this information in the city newsletter for the month of May. Today we're going to talk about some essentials to keep in your vehicle in case of emergency. Let's go. Before we really get into it, please note that every person and or family is different. Additional or altered supplies may be needed for your car kit depending on who you're preparing to be in the vehicle. For example, families with small children may need to include diapers, formula, and other supplies, and family with elderly family members may need to include extra blankets, easy-to-use commode, medications, etc. Persons with animals traveling with them may need to maintain a food and water supply for those animals as well as serving dishes. And trust your gut when it comes to what you think you might need and prepare accordingly. Okay, so let's start with some supplies to include in your kit at a minimum. You're gonna wanna include a spare tire and jack if you have one. I don't have one available to show you. An ice scraper is always important to have in your car with a snow brush, and jumper cables, also a very good idea to have in your vehicle. Road flares. So instead of the traditional road flares, you can get something like this. They're lightweight, they're relatively inexpensive. You can get a couple of these for around 15 to 20 bucks. They're battery operated, they're reusable, so once you've used them, you can use them again and again. They usually have a really strong magnet that can stick to your vehicle or be on the roadside. An escape tool. This is something a lot of people don't think about, but it's really important. This isn't something that would go necessarily in your kit in your vehicle. This is a tool that's designed for you to have access as a driver. So if you're sitting in your vehicle, you need access to the tool. It's a window brake tool and a seatbelt cutter tool in case of an entrapment inside of a vehicle. Always a good idea to have emergency poncho in case there's rain, emergency whistle. A flashlight, really important. Sometimes it's best to have two flashlights. I like the crank flashlights. It to have as like a secondary flashlight instead of just a regular battery operated, but the light power output is not always super great on these. But I do like these because they always have, most of them have the phone charger on them. So most of us already keep a USB charger for your phones in your vehicle, but this will help you charge your phone in case that car battery is dead. A first aid kit. Quintessential. First aid kit and a set of gloves. You're gonna want some pain medications in there, bandages, creams, things like that, gauze. A multi-tool, always good to have a good multi-tool in your car. They come in a variety of modes, so you can have like a big multi-tool like this. They even have some that are wallet sized if size is an issue. Book of matches is always good, or a lighter. Lighters are sometimes easier. And emergency drinking straw. This isn't something that a lot of people need to have. It's really good if you're doing backpacking or something like that, or you're gonna be out in an area where you might be potentially stranded, but it's always good to have an emergency drinking straw. But I always want people to have water in their vehicle, water and food. So always good at a minimum to have some bottled water or prepackaged water like so in your vehicle. You can even buy meals ready to eat and have those ready to go in your vehicle if you're gonna potentially be out for an extended period of time. A rescue blanket or Mylar blanket is gonna help keep you warm. Always good to have some extra trash bags and rubber bands in your vehicle. You never know what you're gonna need them for, maybe to help create a shelter or shelter you from the elements. That's always helpful. Deck of cards. Can't go wrong with a deck of cards in case you're really bored out there. And a throw, like some kind of blanket or throw. These are great, but if you can and you have room in your vehicle, I always suggest just throw an extra sleeping bag if you have the resources available to have an extra sleeping bag in your trunk or vehicle, just in case of those emergencies. And here are some other helpful items to consider putting in your emergency kit. Bungee cords, local road maps in case your GPS and phone are inoperable, a no-spill gas can, tire inflation kit, and a can of temporary flat repair sealant, tarp, rope, collapsible chair, toilet paper, paper towels, napkins, duct tape, sunscreen and or protective hat, and you're gonna want a change of clothes, including durable shoes for all terrain. So hats, mittens, gloves, things like that can go in a separate pack with your extra clothing. a car fire extinguisher, pen and paper, hand sanitizer and or soap, that one's important, and motor oil and coolant. And lastly, if you're driving in a snowy or icy area, make sure to include the following: a bag of sand to help with traction or a bag of non-clumping cat litter, a couple boards to help your vehicle's tires gain traction if you're stuck in the mud, a collapsible or folding snow shovel, a warm blanket, tire chains and tow strap, hand warmers or feet warmers, winter boots for longer trips, and sleeping bag for longer trips, and de-icer. All right, that's a lot to cover, and we hope this information was helpful for you to prepare an emergency kit for your vehicle, whether you're going on a day trip or a drive across the country. Stay safe and prepared. Thanks for watching.